Hi everyone, Deb here again. I'm going to give you another demonstration of how you can create, depending on which program you decide to use, whether you want to use Adobe's Elements or Adobe Photoshop, you can create the same effect using the tools. They're just in a little different place, but they still have the same effect. Anyway, I want to start out now with I've opened, as you can see, I've opened both pictures. I've opened the same picture in both programs. And I have them side by side here so that you can kind of see the side-by-side demo. Anyway, again, we start with the background layer, which in this particular case, this little pastoral setting here with this beautiful barn, kind of gives you an idea and shows you how pretty this is. These are beautiful colors in this picture. A friend of mine took this picture, so it's a very nice picture. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I want to create a feathered border around this picture to give it a little bit of frame and pull out maybe some of the colors and let them jump a little bit to create the final image or demonstration in this composition. And so what I want to do is I'm going to create a layer above the background layer. So in Elements, you'll notice that there are little keys here at the top, and it looks like a little picture or whatever. It's create a new layer. It's a shortcut. So now I've created a layer that is blank, and you can tell it's blank because basically there's nothing in it, and there's a little checkerboard, it looks like, over it. And so then what I'm going to do is this layer, I'm on this layer, and I'm going to go up to, you'll notice that it shows me down here. Actually, in the Properties box here, if I wanted to create a feathering effect, I could, first what I want to do is fill. So I've got a color here, and to select the color that I want to use, I go down to my little color palette, and I'll click on it, and you'll see that it comes up with my color picker. I'm going to move around in the picture, and I'm going to select one of the green colors. So I've got a little darker green there than I had before. I'm going to say OK. And so now my color is selected. So I'm going to go up to Edit, and I'm going to fill that layer. And I want to fill it with the foreground color. So I'm going to say OK. And you'll see that it looks like I colored over my picture, but I didn't because I've got a layer there. So now I'm going to use my marquee tool, which is in my select box here. And I'm going to create basically a little square inside my layer. And down here in the Properties box, you can see that it lets me select whether or not I want the feathering, or if I go up to Select and click Feather, and then let's say maybe 25 pixels. Okay, so I'm going to try 25 pixels. I say OK. Now I know it feathered, or it's activated the feathering because these edges have rounded. Okay, so that's how I kind of know it's feathered. So then I hit Delete. And you'll see that in one smooth step there, and then I'm going to deselect, which is Control D on your keyboard, or you go up to your Select menu. So now I've kind of softened the sides of a border, but created that very same softening, and I used the colors, one of the colors from the picture. So I did that in Elements. Now let's take a look at how we would do that in Photoshop. Basically, in Photoshop, you'll notice that I still have my background layer. I'm going to add a layer. In Photoshop, the additional layer is at the bottom of the Layers palette instead of the top in Elements. And I'm going to add that layer. You'll see Layer 1, same name, and it is blank. And so what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to click on my color tool or my color picker, and I'm going to select one of the green, a little bit of the green, maybe the rich green color there, and say OK. So now I have my color selected, and I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to fill with the foreground color I'm going to fill the entire layer, and I'm going to do the same thing. Now in Photoshop, just like in Elements over here, if I activate the feathering first, and then I say, let's say 25 on this one, and then I select my marquee tool and come down and create my box, you'll notice that it automatically activates the feathering. So that now when I delete, what I'm going to delete is that center part. I'm deleting the center part here. That's what I have selected. And you'll see that it gives me the effect that I'm looking for on both sides. and depending on how big you make that box or whatever, it will make your borders a little wider or more narrow. But anyway, it's kind of interesting. Both programs will do pretty similar effects as long as you don't get caught up too much in where everything is. Because see, you're in Elements, your create layer was on the top, and in Photoshop, it's on the bottom. So you just kind of have to figure out what you want to do to the picture, and then regardless of what software you use or what program you use, you can do the same effect. Anyway, that's all. Just wanted to show you. Thanks. Bye now.